let's look at it this way. There is some fake news going out there stating that Gary Gensler is going to be resigning on November 18th. That's not true. He might resign on November 18th, right? He might resign November 19th, maybe after Thanksgiving, maybe the day before Trump goes into office. Nobody knows. But there is a lot of fake news out there stating that he's going to be resigning on November 18th, and that is not the case. Of course. You guys remember I did a video, a short like this, with basically Barack Obama throwing Joe Biden out of the presidential office, and it was a huge hit. It got and that shit's just hilarious, I gotta say. That was that's a funny one. That's posted by Jack the Rippler. But again, like we said yesterday, he is being sued by 18 different states. Here's the video that I did yesterday. I was wearing my orange polo. Today I'm wearing the purple polo. Got to keep it stylish, of course. Hey, cheers, 401 Doge. Hey, Kershaw. It's good to see you, my friend. I really appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. Andrew Kershaw says, I don't think it's the best solution that he leaves, whether he's fired or resigning. Hester can leave. I know a lot of people feel similarly about Hester Pierce as well. Let me stop this video here because it's still playing audio, which is quite hilarious, I gotta say. But yeah, people are up in arms about this, and there is a lot of fake news, and even some people that are, more reputable have fallen for the fake news, and it's easy to see that. But there is absolutely zero indication, zero proof, and zero proof at all that he's going to be resigning on November 18th. So don't count on that. Let's put it that way. Dave Lauer posts his opinion on it, and I wanted to read this to you guys because he's absolutely right on a lot of things. The date here, November 18th, I'm going to leave that out and say, that's not confirmed, right? But let's not really look into that. Let's look more into the rest of the comments that he's saying here. Dave Lauer goes on to say, Gary Gensler announced that he's resigning. He came in with big promises of reform and change. I was very optimistic on his term. That said, it's disappointing. It's disappointing that almost none of the big changes happened, and we're left pretty much where we started. He continues to say, when Gary came into office, he identified all of the problems with markets that we did as retail investors, right? He came out with strong proposals that quantified the damages to markets from unchecked internalization and uncompetitive market making. And then nothing happened. That's exactly what we found out was the case, and that's why 38 months ago we started the creation of the upcoming stock and crypto brokerage at Lit Exchange. Go down in the description here and you can get a link to litexchange.com, because we have to fix the internalization and uncompetitive market making out there. Dave continues to say, I was wrong to think that the SEC had the institutional ability to take on the market makers. One of the staff at the SEC told me that SIFMA, the Broker-Dealer Association, practically has an office at the SEC. Regulatory capture is a fundamental obstacle to any change at all. That is what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. The corruption is so entrenched in these financial markets. These self-regulatory organizations police themselves and come to the conclusion that they've done nothing wrong consistently. And that is the big problem, that we cannot wait for Gary Gensler or another commissioner or somebody else to come in and make the changes that we need. So we have to make them ourselves. That's why we began to create Lit Exchange, and it is coming very soon. It is painful that to have been so wrong about the potential for reform over the last 4 years. But the fight continues, and we will continue to marshal all of our resources to simplify markets, increase competition, and move trading onto lit markets. Of course, here, Dave Lauer is resonating with people and saying a lot of the same things that we've been saying for the last 3.5 years. And that's what we've been fighting for with the creation of Lit Exchange over the last 3.5 months. And Bigums brings a great point, but this is something that's unlikely to happen. We need a retail investor as a head of the Securities Exchange Commission, not a fucking Wall Street lawyer or ex-banker. It's really simple. And I know a lot of people are bullish on the idea of having former CEO of Overstock, Patrick Burns, as the SEC commissioner. But unfortunately, due to some issues that he's had in the past, that is highly unlikely to ever happen. So as much as I like Patrick Burns, as much as I would like to see him become the new head of the Securities Exchange Commission, that's just not likely to happen. There's also some other news out there that is incorrect about the potential for the Robinhood, and a Robinhood employee for becoming the head of the SEC, and that's not something that's likely to happen either. And I'll show you guys further why. Let's see. Gibson says, I'd love to see Gary Gensler catch a charge for him manipulating markets with his speech outside of the capacity at the SEC. Gensler has always been a manipulative bad actor, and Richard Hart was right once again. I'm not sure exactly how much I agree or disagree with his statement, but I'll leave that for you guys to make the distinction for yourself. Looks like there's some good waving goodbye to Gensler by some people here. Jay Arcadipane says, I think that XRP jumped and will probably jump even further as a result of Gensler leaving. But there is no firm date on that yet. Keep that in mind. Steve says, America, we need someone honest and understanding to replace him. What are your thoughts on Nancy Pelosi? The greatest insider trader of our time, Nancy Pelosi, of course, would make a terrible head of the SEC. That's a hilarious joke, though. Let me see here. Todd says Gary Gensler will go right back to Morgan Stanley. And Stephanie says, I guess it's official. Gary's going to resign. He says he was proud to serve, but he didn't mention who. But we all know it was the hedge funds. Please don't forget to take Hester Pierce with you. It seems like a lot of people are very familiar with the issues with Hester Pierce. Here's another account that likes to post a lot of news for the sake of engagement farming. Mr. Mike Investing says, of course, without proof, that Gary Gensler announced he'll resign effective November 18th. Of course, we've shown this on our channel yesterday, and you can see here that nowhere in this conclusion, where he talks about his mom and dad and the SEC's well-regulated capital markets, nowhere here does it say that he's going to be resigning on November 18th or giving any date whatsoever. But of course, he did release this statement, and it does definitely suggest that he will be leaving the Securities Exchange Commission before Donald Trump takes office and fires him. Pierre says, looking forward to Trump, but worried how loyal she is to America, like spreading fairy tales about U.S. biolabs. Not sure what you're talking about, Pierre, my friend. However, it has been confirmed that there are a significant number of biolaboratories in the United States and dozens of them in Ukraine that are funded by the United States directly. Justin says, thoughts on XRP? Going to make a huge run, I think, waiting on Gensler to be gone. I have a feeling that XRP is likely to go back over $1 if the news occurs. It's not financial advice, and obviously anything could happen. Do your own homework. Pushing with powder, no, he has not resigned. There is no date on which Gary Gensler will resign, even though there is some fake news out there on Twitter/X stating that he's going to resign November 18th. That has not been confirmed anywhere. But he did say, it's been a great honor to serve with the people at the SEC, doing the people's work and ensuring that our capital markets remain the best in the world, during part of his conclusion. And he is argued to be one of the most anti-crypto Securities Exchange Commission chairs of all time. Michael Saylor, of course, comes out to say that replacing SEC Chair Gensler is incredibly bullish for digital assets. And he is absolutely correct. It is definitely bullish for crypto as a whole. Yes, no problem, Powder. I appreciate it. I know how hard it is to get good news out there, especially when people hear things on X and they run with it, and they don't really know where the information came from, and they just make things up for engagement farming, for clicks, for follows. And we don't do that here. We talk about facts and potential theories and things like that, but we don't delve into anything that is confirmed to be fake. Ryan Ayers wishing Gary Gensler a goodbye. Ash Cryptos. Bullish for crypto. Bitcoin archive. Increasingly likely that Gary Gensler will resign, says Fox News, and that is the case. My man Wolfie. We are diamond-handed apes, and all lasted longer than Gary Gensler. We meant it when we said we ain't leaving. You know what? I got to give that one a fucking like, without doubt. Yeah, Hester Pierce's middle name is Crypto Mom, says Kershaw. And you're right. Yeah, that's what they say. Unfortunately, you should also say hedge fund mom and family office accomplice. But unfortunately, she went with the moniker Crypto Mom. Bitcoin Magazine reporting, of course, it's increasingly likely that it'll step down. Uzi Obi, even crypto bros are seeing Gary Gensler voluntarily leaving the SEC. And Eleanor Terrett here has said a few things, as well as other people, about the potential people that are going to replace him. And I will say this is where it's important to keep an open mind, because just because the mainstream media is saying that he's potentially going to be replaced, it doesn't mean that he's actually going to be replaced by these people. There are people thinking that Giancarlo has thrown cold water on rumors of this nomination, but people are thinking that Dan Gallagher of Robinhood is potential to step into the role. However, Fox Business reported that he has said privately he likely wouldn't take the job because he's got a good gig at Robinhood. But that was a few weeks ago, and the situation surrounding administration appointments are always changing. The fact is that nowhere has it been rumored or stated in any way by the Trump administration or anybody with any credibility that Gallagher of Robinhood, who of course screwed over retail investors many, many times, would actually become the new head of the SEC. Of course, with their pulling of the buy button and removing retail investors' ability to buy and sell stocks like AMC, GameStop, COS, and a dozen other stocks in 2021, and even more recently at the end of last year, in which cryptocurrency, Robinhood removed people's ability to basically hold on to their crypto and force them to sell off a lot of their crypto at $13 just to buy it back now at $200. They really screwed over a lot of people, and it is not looking good for anybody in Robinhood to actually become the head of the SEC. And I hope to God it stays that way. I hope we get somebody better than Hester Pierce as well. And there has been no indication from the actual team of Trump of who's going to replace them. So even Charles Payne has come out and stated,
breaking news.
Breaking news.
In a speech today, SEC Chair Gary Gensler seemed to be suggesting that maybe he's leaving the SEC. I think it was the last line where he says, "I've been proud to serve with my colleagues at the SEC who day in and day out work to protect American families on the highways of finance." This speech comes, by the way, as another breaking news item for you. 18 states filing to sue the SEC, accusing them of unconstitutionally overreach, also unfair prosecution in the crypto industry. Now, as we know that.
And as much as I love Charles Payne, of course, you guys saw me report this yesterday. Meanwhile, Charles Payne reported this today on Fox Business. As always, we are one step ahead of the mainstream media.
The investing world is tuning in all of its attention to NVIDIA's earnings next week. The countdown has begun.
And of course, I did reach out to Charles Payne, and he has not reached back. Of course, if you would like to see Charles Payne have me on his show at Fox Business to discuss any of these developments or to discuss lit exchange or financial markets in general, you guys already know that I've been in talks with Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s team for many, many months in regards to crafting actual reform for financial markets, stocks, and crypto. So you feel free to put a tweet out there, tag Charles Payne. In the past, he's tweeted and he said, "Oh, you don't think I would have Boss Blunts on the channel? Try me." Well, I tried him. Charles Payne did not respond by email. He did give me his email address, and he never responded to my email, which I'm not entirely surprised, although I would love to, discuss things with Charles on Fox Business as well. Ellie says, "I'm trying to buy as much XRP as possible." Excellent. I hear you, my friend. Colby says, "I'm kicking myself for prematurely taking profits in XRP before the bigger move. But I know I'll have plenty of opportunity to get back in to close to my original average. Cheers, Colby. I wish you good luck with that, my friend. I know it could be extremely difficult to time the top, almost impossible. And right now, with the words that I'm seeing here on SMCI possibly being delisted, while it is definitely a lot of issues there going on with SMCI, I'm beginning to think that that may have been a shakeout. And there may be another run coming for Supermicro computer. Again, that's just something I'm thinking right now. That's SMCI may, while their auditor definitely quit, and it does appear as if they were cooking the books with mark-to-market accounting. It's technically not illegal to use mark-to-market accounting, but a lot of the things they did was shady. And those same things also affect NVIDIA stock going forward. But with the amount of money that is held in SMCI by large hedge funds and institutions, I think it's increasingly likely that SMCI has a potential run coming if they don't get delisted. Greg, of course, the infamous Greg on Twitter says, quote, "I will miss Gary Gensler running the SEC, says no one." Let's see. John Deaton, very proud of the fact that on January 2021, 9 days after the Ripple XRP case was filed, I sued the SEC claiming the Ripple XRP case was filed in bad faith, and the case could be the beginning of a jurisdictional land grab by the SEC. Jay Clayton met with Gary Gensler the day before the filing and then filed it as he walked out of the SEC forever. I'm also proud of filing the motion to intervene and being appointed Amici counsel in the Ripple case on behalf of token holders. It's been a long 4 years. And as you guys know, as we reported here yesterday, these 18 states are in fact suing the SEC through a new lawsuit filed yesterday as well. Definitely interesting to see how that's going to turn out. And this video right here, this shit was hilarious.
Gary Gensler here has fucked all of you over.
Listen, I just do what they tell me, the big banks.
He's attacking NFTs
Holy
and all
shit.
digital artists. That's why I'm supporting the Unfuck petition to stop Gary's assault on NFT artists.
I swear I'll change. I'll stop doing what the big banks tell me. I'm done being a dickhead.
Well,
I'm done being a dickhead. I'm
it
done
appears
being a dickhead.
this
How did
has
you get
gotten a
so
lot
many
of
people to
traction.
report me to the SEC hotline, and then you got people involved to make art from people's complaints. It's honestly amazing.
It's time for you to change, Gary. Stop thinking with money first and think with your heart.
I got to get real, because at the end of the day, my crypto is your crypto, and your crypto is my crypto.
My crypto's not your crypto.
Okay. Not even a little bit?
None of it. It's all mine.
Okay.
Wow. I got to give it to him. That is funny. A secret society to prank corrupt corporations. Unfuck. Please step down, Gary Gensler, so that the good people at the SEC can focus on innovation. Wow.
Tell him you're sorry.
I'm sorry that NFTs are securities. You can suck my little balls.
Gary Gensler here has fucked all of you over.
Listen, I just do what they tell me, the big banks.
He's attacking NFTs and
Oh,
all digital
shit. That was just hilarious. Came here. I wanted to show this to you guys. He's got some really good posts. Only got a couple of views on here, but I like this. Simple reasons to be delusionally bullish right now. Well, Bitcoin has broke out of a 7th-month bull flag. Donald Trump won the presidency. The Doge Department, the Department of Government Efficiency, is in full swing, and we haven't even gotten started yet with the administration. Donald Trump has floated rumors of no taxation, no capital gains tax on cryptocurrencies, as well as no capital gains tax, no unrealized capital gains tax, unlike Kamala Harris, who was pushing for it. He's also come out with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and has even floated the idea of no income tax entirely and switching over to tariffs, which up until 1913, for the first, 150 years of this country, America never had an income tax until 1913. We had a surplus of money coming in through tariffs, and Americans were much better off because of it. Also, Gary Gensler is This guy says Gary Gensler fired, which Donald Trump said he would do on day one. Pepe has been listed on Coinbase, which, of course, you know, these coins and a lot of these Solana tokens are now going to be listed on all sorts of different exchanges, crypto exchanges, and stock exchanges all over the country. And Michael Saylor is top blasting, which, as you guys can see, he's running around social media saying how things are going to be bullish for everybody. Seagill says, my fear is that the cat will leave with Gary Gensler. If that's the case, the hedge funds won. The good news is the consolidated audit trail is independent of Gary Gensler. If anything, the SEC has used the consolidated audit trail to stop people like Andrew Left, who is now facing 370 years in federal prison for his manipulation of financial markets, particularly stocks like Tesla, AMC stock, and GameStop stock. So it has worked. It continues to work. And if we get a better SEC commissioner in there, it can actually have much more efficacy. And the SEC can work with the Department of Justice to get these guys under wraps. So, Steve, those are good points. You know, the fact that the SEC made a meme stock commercial makes me happy that Gary is leaving. Doug, you are absolutely right. That commercial really pissed me off. I think we should look it up for it. Let me see. Gary Gensler, buy commercial. Let's look this shit up, because if you haven't seen this is going to infuriate you. This is the kind of shit that is disparaging retail investors. And, of course, a fake tweet from Donald Trump says, fuck Ken Griffin, AMC to the moon. Jesus. Let's see. Let's see if we can find the commercial. I did have high hopes for Gary, 3 years ago. But, of course, he's proven what he's willing to do and what he's not willing to do. And I think that's why a lot of people have gotten increasingly angry with him. It seems like maybe he wanted to help, but the execution has definitely not been there. And I can't find that video here at the moment. I'm not going to take too long to look for it, but you guys have seen it. It's the one where they're talking about meme stocks and then getting a pie in the face. Basically trying to convince retail investors to sell off their GameStop and AMC and all the other meme stocks, which, as you know, how many times have they gone up 2,000% now in the last few years on multiple occasions? Several. And I think it's pretty clear that it's not even close to being over. But yeah, Kirsch, I agree with you that commercial was absolutely embarrassing. It was pitiful. And I can't believe, you know how much money they spent on that commercial? The SEC spent like $12 million fucking dollars on that commercial. I'm not even kidding you. They claim they don't have enough money for coffee. They claim they don't have enough money for good employees. They spent like 10 million, 12 million on a fucking series of 3 shitty short commercials to disparage retail investors and try to dissuade them from investing in meme stocks. I think that's why a lot of people are coming out with things like this. Video here says Gary Gensler has turned a blind eye. 510 days since elected SEC chair, to blind eye to naked shorting, abusive shorting, failures to deliver, naked calls, married calls, married calls and puts, divorced calls and puts, hiding failures to deliver and in the money options, dark pools, payment for order flow, marking shorts as long, distraction plays, spoofing and layering, algorithmic trading, high frequency trading, the FUD that has become out of media with fake news and short and distort tactics. Short interest obviously is a lie. It can be held within exchange traded funds and products, tokenized securities, and just marked as long. The threshold list, short exchange traded funds, bots and shills, a lot of complicity going on here. And it's unacceptable. People cannot continue to deal with that. And I think that's why there's coming out with videos like that. And even somebody like Dave Lauer, who came out saying he was very optimistic about Gary Gensler's term, has been very disappointed that almost none of the big changes have happened, and we're left pretty much where we started. And you, retail investors, are the only reason that the consolidated audit trail actually got pushed. Because right here on this very channel, on X and YouTube and Rumble and everywhere else that we're on, we pushed harder than anybody for the consolidated audit trail. You guys called and emailed and blew up the social medias of your local congressman in order to get them to push through the consolidated audit trail and to not basically do away with it, because we need it. And as you can see, broker dealers are now trying to make retail investors pay this fraction of a penny for the consolidated audit trail, which they shouldn't be. And you bet your ass that at Lit Exchange, they won't be. And B says the short sellers could lose everything. Why make a warning for holders supporting long when the shorts could lose it all? Cody says it's almost like there's a shitstorm and he's leaving before it happens. And I do agree with you there. Andrew, they're making it too easy for them to borrow shares. You're absolutely right. Andrew, November 18th is not a fact. That is fake news, my friend. I understand Dave here means well, as do a lot of our other retail investors, but there is nowhere, anywhere in any factual data stating that Gary Gensler is going to be resigning on the 18th of November. So don't count on it. Don't invest as if that's the date it's going to happen, because if it doesn't happen, you're really going to fucking kick yourself in the ass. So keep that in mind. I do believe Gary Gensler will likely quit/resign before Donald Trump takes office in January, but there is no guarantee that's going to happen on November 18th. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of it for me today. Go check out litexchange.com if you haven't already. This is the first time in the history of the world where retail investors actually have the opportunity to own an upcoming stock and crypto brokerage firm before it IPOs. This is the first time in the history of the world where you can actually own a cryptocurrency broker. So don't forget that. This is thanks to Donald Trump's Jobs Act passed in 2019. We have the ability to offer this to you through a Regulation C offering. You can see our SEC filings on the SEC Edgar website here, linked on our website. You can go straight to it. And you can also go to the FINRA-approved funding portal, Silicon Prairie here, in order to invest with other retail investors who have already, so far over 250 people have invested nearly $500,000 in Lit Exchange. And you can also do the same if you would like to invest in private equity. For others, you can also check us out on the SEC Edgar website under the company name Lit Exchange LLC. You will find this linked directly on our website, so you can check out our offering statements and our notice of exempt offering of securities D and Form DA as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you with that. Sign up on the website for our wait list as well. Here by email. We'll never sell, share, or give away your personal information. And the whole purposes of this is to enable you to have the power of swarm intelligence to be achieved between you, artificial intelligence, social media, and millions of your new best friends within our think tanks to strategize in ways that are currently impossible, while routing your orders to lit markets, because we will automatically route orders to lit markets to prevent and deter manipulation that occurs due to brokerages selling your orders via payment for order flow to market makers that internalize your trades and use price suppressing dark pools to make sure that there is no actual price discovery. We will definitely do this and aim to avoid payment for order flow from these dark pools so that internalizers like Citadel and Virtue cannot front run your trades. Cheers, my friends. I wish you peace and wealth. Thank you, Gorilla Grodd. Kershaw, when lit for Europe? My friend Kershaw, first we're launching here in the United States, and then after we do, we'll be on our way to Europe and Canada. So we will make our way there as quickly as possible. But of course, we are following all regulations and all laws before doing so, as that is the only way to actually take on the market manipulation we've seen over the last decades that we've been trading in these financial markets. Gary Gensler's not going to fucking change it. Hester Pierce is not going to fucking change it. Nobody is going to make the changes that we need except us, ourselves. So if you want to join the wait list and be part of the thousands of users that have already joined to participate in our founders program and the launch of our upcoming stock and crypto brokerage, it's as easy as going to litexchange.com. The link is right there on the side and down in the description. Todd says he just signed up for Lit Exchange. Cheers, my friend Todd. I'm looking forward to doing business and partnering with you in this endeavor. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to all channel members and supporters. I really appreciate you, everybody. Bigums for SEC chair. Let's go. Enjoy your weekend. I wish you peace and wealth. And yeah, I'm still holding my Amy, my Jimmy, my silver and gold, my friends. It is only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. God bless you, Ellie. Thank you, everybody else. I appreciate you. Have an awesome fucking weekend. WGBSF